Union and capitalism, as at least Soviet Union saw it. And that competition included scientific pursuit.
Space exploration has a dark side. We can't deny that we rode to the moon and to the other planets on the wings of war. That the reason we have these rockets that can launch payloads into orbit and beyond is because they were developed to destroy cities.
We didn't use the term spacecraft in those days. We called them payloads because everything went on top of a launch vehicle. And the main thing you put on top of the launch vehicle was the warhead, which was the payload.
Rocket scientists on both sides of the space race concluded that in order to get to Venus, there's a window of time in which the planets are closest. This occurs every 19 months. From the moment the race to Venus began in 1961, only 3 opportunities were missed until 1986. First to launch was the Soviet Tyazyoli Sputnik in February 1961. It failed to leave low Earth orbit. Venera 1 became the first spacecraft to fly past Venus. But due to a communications failure, no data was received.
The early history of trying to get to Venus is full of failure. There were a lot more failures than successes.
Within weeks of the first 2 attempts to send a spacecraft to Venus, a discovery from an Earth-based radio telescope increased the intrigue about our mysterious twin. Venus was found to have a strange rotation. The planet seemed to be rotating backwards very slowly. A day on Venus is longer than its year.
You could say, why does Venus rotate backwards? But you can also say, why do all the other planets rotate forwards? I mean, it's a mystery.
18 months after the discovery of Venus's peculiar rotation, the next opportunity to get to Venus was approaching.
In that second half of summer of 1962, all these forces finally came together. Both sides finally had the rockets necessary to launch. They had the spacecraft, which was sophisticated enough to go to Venus. And they had this motivation, money, and all the political rationale to do this. So within this short period of time, from July to beginning of September, there were 5 missions launched, 2 Mariner probes and 3 Russian MV probes, as they were called.
Mariner 1 and 2 were identical, and they were both modified Ranger spacecraft taken off the product line and converted for a mission to Venus rather than a Ranger mission to the moon.